we're here in sunny St. Louis, Missouri. Not really. It's not really that sunny.
Oh yeah, it's the
Do you?
suburbs over here.
Yeah. So it's pretty cold, I would say. Would you say it was pretty cold? Understatement. So we had kind of a snow day today, depending on how you want to think about it. There was snow, and your sister didn't have school, but you,
I most definitely had school.
yeah.
Just
But as
kind of.
you, yeah, as you said, you're still going to graduate either way.
I'm gonna graduate either way, snow day or not. May 15th, it's on the way.
It's on the way. So we're excited about that. Okay, so we're live on a few places. We should be live on YouTube. So hi YouTube. Hi YouTube. We should be live on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, what up? Twitch. How y'all doing? And then Insta. So Insta, how y'all doing as well? So I'm Simon Yost, your host. This is Devontae and Devontae Graham. I guess you didn't put your last name, but anyway. So I'm downstairs. You're upstairs. We're making this thing go. So part of so anyway, we'll get to Leon's in just a minute, but part of the point of this show is to try to help people that are starting out in their careers. So career is kind of a big word. Devontae, do you think you've ever used the word career in a sentence so far in your life? Like,
I probably use the word career when I'm like on Google searching for a job for like working at Chick-fil-A or something like that.
Yeah, working at Chick-fil-A. But it's not. It's kind of a daunting word. Is that fair? Like a big word. Okay. I mean, not a 4-letter word. Big word.
Big word in the sense of like just knowing what it is, just in general.
Yeah. So if there's a better word, we could call it a banana pepper if you'd like. Also, we don't have to use the word career too much, but the idea that as we get out of school, at whatever point that is, most of us are probably interested in having some money. And most of the way that many of us start earning money is trading our time for money, whether that's working at Chick-fil-A like you mentioned, or all the way up to even a salary if we're fortunate. But that is mostly starting with trading time for money, and then as you grow in your career, I know big word, you can start to continue to drive value and start to get more of your compensation from value than time. That's kind of a heady way to talk about it. So we're trying to talk about it a different way. We're trying to break it down as who you serve, how you serve, and what you need to serve. So who you serve, who are the people that need what you do or that enjoy what you do, so on and so forth. Second of all, how do you serve them? So these people that need or appreciate what you do, how do you serve them? And then the what is, what do you need? Skills, resources, opportunity, etc., to do that thing. So we were going to talk to Devontae about how you've been doing that. Devontae, are you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. So I believe you've done 1 or 2 dances in your life. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, times like 10.
Times 10. So only 20. Just joking.
Only 20.
So you're a dancer, or that's part of what you're talented at is dance and movement.
Mm-hmm.
Can you kind of talk about how you got hooked on that or how that started?
Okay, so I would probably say that I probably started dancing later than I have. In a sense, the way I see it, I actually have not been dancing for super long. It feels like it, but I haven't been dancing for super long. I've only been dancing since 7th grade, maybe. Yeah, since 7th grade. But I always knew that I wanted to like perform and just be the center of attention. If you know zodiac signs, my birthday is August 20th. I'm a Leo. We love to be center of attention. Doesn't matter what it is, gotta be center of attention. But I love performing, and I really got it in. I got more into it once I started going to the high school I go to now, Grand Center Arts Academy. Been going there since I was in 6th grade. But I love movement, dancing, performing.
You do. Okay, I was just making a comment here. So you kind of discovered that you like movement and dancing, and then you've gotten a chance to kind of do all three parts of this who, what, and how at Grant Center with dancing. So you've gotten to do some performances, and so that kind of is part of the who. You've gotten to perform for audiences. The how is through dance, and then the what, you've been able to take some dance classes to really hone your craft and learn how to dance. Can you kind of talk about what dance classes that you've been involved with?
So I have mainly been involved with ballet, modern, and jazz. All of them still have varied within them, but those are like the core classes that I have taken.
Perfect. So, and then for those folks that don't do kind of performing arts type of stuff, obviously one of the reasons anyone gets into performing arts is because they like to perform. But some of those performance opportunities are a little few and far between. Those are what you work towards. Those aren't the thing you do every day. So, I mean, maybe 2-3 times a year at most. Right now you're performing. Those are kind of the culminations of the work, I guess, is what I'm trying to paint the picture of. So even though it only happens a couple times a year, it's not like you wouldn't want to do it more. It's just, as you're in training, that's kind of what happens. But I don't know. And I didn't pre-wire you to tell the story. So I also didn't get a clip, but you were able to do a performance recently on film because of COVID, but you were able to do a dance performance in your first kind of professional gig. You want to talk about that?
Yes. So I was really excited to do this performance. It was called A New Holiday, choreographed by Keith Williams. That's his name. He's a teacher at my school, Grant Center Arts Academy. And I got to perform with a voice finalist, Kennedy Holmes, who also used to go to my school, Grant Center Arts Academy. I've also have known her since before then. But it was really fun to do. It was a little stressful. The choreography and learning process took 2 days, or at least that's how many days we had to learn it. We had 2 days, and then we were going through all these different tests because we had to, because of COVID, we had to get COVID tests. And to make sure that everything's going to be safe, we still ended up having to perform with masks on, which was, by the way, very difficult, especially if you're moving nonstop. But other than that, it was really fun. The place we performed at was the Palace Symphony Hall. They had it all decorated and everything for Christmas, stuff like that. It was beautiful.
That's really cool. Yeah. So like in the foyer of the Symphony Hall, you all got to use that as your set kind of. And then, yeah. So, and then, I wasn't, I think Bradford Marsalis, wasn't he one of the performers? Didn't he perform in it? Or was
I don't think so. At least I don't think so when I did my scene.
Yeah. And then Brad,
we did certain scenes with each other. We didn't get to see everybody else who was actually in it after.
Cool. Well, anyway, so that was huge. So that's kind of then like a little look into your dance world, which obviously is going well. But a couple years ago, you were still dancing, you were still going to Grand Center, but there was a kind of another opportunity that popped up to do some other type of movement and performing in St. Louis. Do you want to talk about that?
Yes. So actually, the way I remember this, the way that this started was I went to the City Museum to hang out with one of my friends. One of my friends didn't live that far away from us, so we picked her up and we went to the City Museum. And I had previously already just like known this in the back of my brain. I was like, there's probably going to be a performance at the Circus Harmony because the City Museum holds the Circus Harmony, that school there. So every weekend they at least have 2 to 3 shows. We went there, we watched the show, and I was like, I want to do this. Or how can I get into it? So I asked the director. Her name is Jessica Hentoff. And then after that, I think we got into it in like January, which was like maybe 4 or 5 months after we saw the show, because it was like in the summertime. But we got right into it into January. And then from that point on, I did classes and everything. And then the following summer, I did an internship. I was working with the St. Louis internship program. And they were teaching us how to be professional and how to do all these things. Everybody had to choose like their top things that they kind of wanted to do. They had things from like working in a hospital or working in a judge's office, or being a lawyer, stuff like that. And then they had a little section where it's like other. It's like, is there anything else that interests you that we can maybe find? None of the things that were happening in the hospital or being a lawyer, none of that really interests me. To me, it's I probably have to be at a desk typing, something like that. I was like, I need to move. So I had already talked to them while I was in the program that I was in the circus, because I probably been in the circus. I had been in the circus for about a year now, probably already. And they were like, well, what if you just did an internship at the circus? And I was like, why not? And I was getting paid at the same time. It's not every day you get to do an internship and actually get paid. At least that's what I heard. Not everybody gets paid to do an internship. But I got to teach, learn at the same time, and perform and get paid all at the same time.
Wow. Yeah, it was pretty cool. So, and I know there was some other parts too, but just so we don't make this too long. The circus, if we break that down, right, there was the Who, which was an audience again, but you got to perform quite a bit more with circus almost every weekend once you got going, or many weekends, which was pretty cool. But, performance experience again for those of us that have not done fine arts. I mean, getting to perform often is a big blessing. So that was pretty cool. And then the How switched from dancing to circus, but it was still very much relied on your movement skills that you had honed and stuff like that. And then the What again was similar to dance, be it that a movement, but there was some other kind of specialty skills. I remember you practicing juggling, for example.
Yeah. Juggling is something that the brain just you need to sit down and work.
Yeah, I remember being at Christmas and you and Christian going back and forth with juggling balls and stuff like that. So hoping that the dog doesn't jump up and grab one of the balls out of the air or something like that. So that's very funny. So I guess the point that we were trying to talk about is that for you, there's seems to be a common Who, like audiences, of fine art kind of seem to be a through line. And then the What, movement and movement training, even though there's some specialty areas that What in general, has been a pretty decent through line. And so one of the points we want to share with our audience here is that the How was one of the things that you've kind of evolved in. So you tried some of the How of circus, you've tried some of the How of dance. I think previously to that, you'd even tried some of the How of singing, which I know is a different, doesn't take as much of the same What. But so as you've kind of experimented with that How, specifically between dance and circus, what have you learned, or what kind of has your takeaways been from that?
I have simply learned that, well, there's a lot of things I've learned, but a couple of things that I've learned, and they're kind of on like two like separate things of the spectrum. But one is that circus and dance most definitely go hand in hand, and they're very helpful. It was very healthy for my body, because when I got back to school the summer after I did my internship, so because my school does dance as like an as part of like the curriculum, they have different levels. They have ballet 1, ballet 2, ballet 3, and same thing for modern and jazz. When I got back, I just elevated. Maybe not for ballet, because ballet is not my strong suit, but everything else, I was like, just getting up there, and it really like fixes your body. And then also, the world is so small. It is very small, extremely small, especially for dance. But even for circus, like there was one person, he was like, well, if I was like still interested into wrestling, because I did wrestling once upon a time, but that's for a different story. If I was still interested in wrestling, he could have like got me some connections with WWE because he is now performing on the main stage of SmackDown Live in WWE with some of like the biggest WWE stars now. The world is small. It really is. And
But I
you know,
think
just
like I forgot to that so much of WWE is movement and almost similar to dance and stuff because it's so choreographed. So I mean they make it look all tough and stuff, but it's more closely probably related to like dance and stuff than it is to actual boxing or something. So
yeah, if you ask someone who does it, they'll say it's not choreographed, it's fixed.
fixed. Yeah. Yeah. It's all the preparation and all the training and body control. I mean, is really what it comes down to. So yeah. Okay. Well, we'll talk about this, more as we keep going. But I think what we just wanted to continue to share with you all, the audience, is that, we're both going through this stuff as well. So when we challenge you to, kind of lean in and talk about this how, who, and what, like we're doing that too. I'm still doing this, and I've been, in industry for a while. And so, as we host the show, as we take you all through this progression, we just wanted to share a little bit of ours so that, like we're in this with you. You're not doing this alone, stuff like that. So,